there is one thing that Toy Story knows how to do right, it is their characters. And with the franchise's 5th movie, it isn't going to be any different. But do you have any idea who all the hidden characters are that Pixar absolutely does not want fans to know will be in the movie? That is exactly the case with Emily, Jesse's original owner, who we first heard about all the way back in Toy Story 2 when the cowgirl is sitting sadly by the window because Woody is leaving and she is going to go back to being stuck inside a storage box for years. She then talks about what her life was like in the past, how she made Jesse happy, and how Emily also made her feel happy. That is, until the fateful day she was put into a donation box, and through a small crack, she managed to see the girl's family car driving away, never to see them again. The detail here is that even when we hear and catch a glimpse of Emily, it was never really possible to actually see her face, the way we can see Andy's and Bonnie's. However, this issue will be completely solved in Toy Story 5, where images and scenes have already been revealed showing Emily's face clearly. We can notice that the connection between Jesse and the girl isn't just sentimental, but also physical, since the girl is simply identical to the cowgirl. She has red hair, freckles on her face, and even their green eyes are very similar. We can practically say that they were made for each other. All of this is something that Toy Story fans have been waiting for nothing less than 26 years. The coolest part is that Emily is far from being the only hidden character Toy Story is going to bring us. Get ready, because we are about to blow your mind. You have definitely heard the saying, where there's smoke, there's fire. And of course, where there's Buzz Lightyear, there is a Zurg to be fought. And the release trailers and images for Toy Story 5 make it very clear that there have never been so many active Buzz Lightyears in a single movie as there are right now. We know that somehow they will be recruited by the Buzz we all know to help with the rescue mission for Jessie, who was sent by Lilypad to a farm out in the country, probably where Emily used to live in the past. But beyond that, this means there are extremely high chances of seeing not just one, but a whole army of Zurgs being awakened, probably by Lilypad to stand against so many Space Rangers. This would absolutely result in an epic final battle with our heroes riding their horses and firing their toy laser beams against a massive horde of Zurgs shooting their rubber ion balls. Seriously, seeing this is going to be amazing. Mark my words. And if we really jog our memory, we will remember that the last Zurg we saw in the franchise was in Toy Story 2, and he and the other Buzz ended up staying behind to live as father and son. So it could perfectly be that this other Buzz might be the squad leader of the Lightyears coming to rescue Woody's best friend, and in that case, surely his father, Zurg, would tag along, maybe even to help. Another hidden character that is practically confirmed in Toy Story 5 is none other than the worst villain in the franchise, Lotso. This confirmation actually didn't come from Disney or Pixar themselves, but rather from a leak made by an innocent employee at a licensed Disney toy store in Brazil, who showed an aisle focused exclusively on products developed and designed for the 5th movie in the Toy Story franchise. And who was right there? Exactly, our favorite villain, Lotso. Besides there being several toys of Lotso himself in the store, we can see a banner where Lilypad, the main villain of the 5th movie, is side by side with the evil purple bear. In other words, it is practically a given that, at some point, our heroes will smell strawberry mixed with garbage in the air. And upon looking over, they will come face to face with the exact toy dictator who left them behind to be incinerated, looking right at them with an "I'm here for revenge" face. This scene is simply going to be surreal. The trailers have made it increasingly clear that Jessie is taking on a much larger protagonist role in Toy Story, to the point of being placed side by side with Woody and Buzz, who have always been the biggest names in the franchise. But if we go way back, we will remember that the crew that is today, made up of Woody, Jessie, Bullseye, and Buzz, used to have another member in the Space Rangers' place, the ruthless Stinky Pete, which indicates that in all the movies released after Toy Story 2, where the evil Prospector tried to kidnap everyone and take them to Japan to be pieces for a super-rich collector, there will always be the ghost of the villain's return lingering around. And now, with Jessie taking on the lead role, it becomes almost impossible not to say that this ghost is even more present and smelly. After all, his name is Stinky Pete. I couldn't resist the pun. So it wouldn't be a surprise at all to see the former partner of Woody's Roundup gang being found by Bo Peep and her crew, and being treated very well while Woody is away helping his friends once again at Bonnie's house. Come to think of it, it would actually be pretty cool to see an evil duo form, with Stinky Pete and Lotso side by side. It would be the smelly guy and the strawberry-scented bear teaming up against Team Woody, Buzz, and Jessie. That would definitely make for an incredible storyline. Take a hint, Pixar. Yet another character we know little about, but who is confirmed in Toy Story 5, and who is completely brand new to the franchise, is evil Bullseye, who was revealed in some promotional images for the movie purposely leaked by Pixar. In it, we can see a very different version, wearing formal attire, of Jessie's horse companion, who has never uttered a single word in the 3 movies he's been in since he didn't know how to talk up until now. The detail is that we are almost certain this character will actually be a figment of Blaise's imagination, in some playtime involving her toys, where the one chosen to be the villain this time around is exactly Bullseye. Kind of like what happened with Mr. Potato Head at the beginning of Toy Story 3, where we see Andy as a kid imagining the toy as an evil supervillain. What reinforces this idea is that in the background of the image, we can see Bullseye attending a dance filled with equines, indicating that the mastermind behind this playtime has several toy horses. This is exactly the case with Blaise, as we can see in the scenes where she is playing with her pet pig, and on the shelf in the background where Jessie is, there are several different types of horses, which will even be used by the army of Buzz Lightyears during the Cowgirls' rescue. So yes, we will have an evil Bullseye, but he will probably only appear in this specific movie. If you're enjoying the video, subscribe to the channel now so you don't miss any new videos. Now let's talk about a character that is 100% confirmed and that we already know will be in the new Pixar toy movie. The gnome is a lawn ornament, probably made of porcelain just like Bo Peep, who, as far as we know, is going to help Team Woody in some way to achieve their goal. Regarding this guy, we know his appearance is pretty rough and completely aged, probably from years of being exposed in some garden. Besides that, it seems he and other toys have a habit of getting together to apparently drink, or pretend to drink. This could very well be the group of lost toys that is having a harder and harder time finding an owner, since they aren't technological items at all like Lilypad, and because of that, they've been tossed aside or simply discarded without an ounce of mercy. Alongside the gnome, we can see in the same image another character that many imagined would never show up in Toy Story again, but who has his presence confirmed in the 5th animated feature of the biggest franchise in Pixar history. We are talking about the famous Combat Carl. The military toy similar to the G.I. Joe action figures we all know is a constant presence in the Toy Story series of movies and shorts. For example, one of his figures was blown up by the little sociopath named Sid in the first movie. After that, in the Halloween special released between the 3rd and 4th movies, we have the important participation of not 1, but 2 Combat Carls, one of them being bigger, at 12 inches, and another smaller one at just 4 inches, who was simply called Junior by the bigger Combat Carl. After that, we see not 2, but 3 Combat Carls saluting and providing information to Bo Peep in Toy Story 4. Following this logic, that with each movie the number of war toys increases by 1, we would have 4 Combat Carls in Toy Story 5. The problem is that the character's voice actor, the 80s action and war movie star Carl Weathers, ended up passing away in the time between the 2 movies. And because of that, it was taken as a given that the character wouldn't appear. However, probably as a way to pay tribute to the actor, Pixar called upon Ernie Hudson, another very famous actor from adventure movies like Ghostbusters, to voice Combat Carl in Toy Story 5, continuing the plans to use the character and making him one of the hidden characters in the movie. Now, let's talk about human characters that aren't confirmed to appear, but there are countless fan theories that make a lot of sense, indicating we will see them in upcoming Toy Story movies, including even the 5th one. The first human who might be showing his face without anyone having a clue would be exactly Woody's original owner, the now not-so-little Andy. We know that at the end of the 3rd movie, the boy goes off to college and ends up choosing to donate his toys to Bonnie, even though he still wanted to keep Woody. What becomes clear is that even while leaving, the boy, who is now a man, never lost his emotional bond with his childhood toys. And we know some time has passed between the end of Toy Story 3 and the beginning of Toy Story 5. So there is a chance Andy is on break from college, or maybe even graduating and moving back to his hometown. He might take the opportunity to visit Bonnie and see his old toys again, and according to some fans, maybe even take them back if Bonnie doesn't want them anymore, to give to his future child who might be on the way. We aren't sure if this is going to happen, but it would definitely be an incredible plot to kick off in the post-credits scene of the 5th movie and continue into the beginning of a 6th Toy Story. Wouldn't you agree? If you stop and think about it, you will remember that Toy Story isn't just full of good kids, and Sid Phillips is proof of that. Andy's somewhat older neighbor had a habit of finding pleasure simply by destroying toys in the most bizarre ways possible. That happened right up until the day Woody teamed up with the boy's own toys, which he had already deformed in various ways, to play a trick on the little delinquent and leave him completely terrified, probably creating some pretty deep trauma for the character. And it is exactly this trauma that could bring Sid back to the franchise, where, after a session with his therapist, whom he's probably known ever since he ran away in fear of the toys, he decides that to stop others from thinking he's crazy, his mission will be to reveal to the world that toys actually have a life of their own. This is definitely a storyline that would fit perfectly into a potential Toy Story 6. If Andy and Sid are in the upcoming Toy Story movies, it would be obvious to imagine that Woody's former owner's little sister would also show her face in the sequels. We have to remember that some of the most famous toys in the franchise used to belong to her, such as Barbie, who probably runs the toys at Sunnyside Daycare with Ken to this day. And also Bo Peep herself, who, despite being Woody's romantic interest since the first movie, was a toy set, along with her sheep, that belonged to Molly. Despite not being as attached to her toys as her older brother, she could very well be important in a plot where the toys reveal to the two siblings that they are alive as a last resort to save themselves from Sid's plans. We'll stop here, but you can still keep watching more incredible videos. Just click on either of these two appearing for you. Until next time.